Hi folks, how are you doing? Lots of time without a video, hope you've been missing me. So there we go. Today is the turn for a short game by Anatoly Karpov. You know he became a world champion when Fischer refused to play against him in 1975, I think, or something like that. Then he had these historical championship matches, historical rivalry with the big Caspi in the 80s, in the 90s, etc. So quite a strong, very strong positional player. It was said that he could win a game just controlling a quarter part of a square. So, but today we're gonna see him attacking. So short game. He's going to be white against Hort, strong player of the 70s, 80s, 90s, strong player of the 20th century. The second part of the 20th century. They're playing in Bugoyna. I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly. Sorry, fellas from there. And this is played in 1978. So Karpov was like more or less in his peak or something like that. He's white, as I said, against Hort. He's playing e4, c6, so facing basically his favorite defense with black. He was an absolute master of the Caro-Kann, but he also played the e4 as white, so he must be one of the persons who better knew this defense around the world on his times, for sure. Karpov plays knight d2, so black takes. This is very classical game. Now knight d7. You know the other main alternative is to play bishop f5 here, with thousands of games having been played there. Knight d7, knight f3, knight gf6. And well, in this position, having been played thousands of times between masters, Karpov takes, which is basically the main line. The other popular alternative is to play knight g3. But he takes on f6, knight takes f6, and now he plays knight e5. The knight can't be that easily be chased from this stronghold on e5, so could cause some early problems to black. Other moves, well, I guess it's possible to play, for instance, bishop c4, and now, for instance, e6, castle, bishop e7, typical position for Caro-Kann. Also, bishop d3 would be logical, I guess. Now bishop g4 with the pin, threatening d4, etc. c3, well, with playable positions, kind of quiet. Knight d5 is more interesting. I think more direct. I like it more. Now bishop f5, well, certainly playable, but doesn't seem to be the strongest move. Karpov himself mentions that bishop e6 to play later g6. Bishop g7 seems stronger. It is much more popular and seems to be scoring much better. Another possibility was a little bit strange one, but still interesting move. Very modern way of playing knight d7. Now you're moving your knight twice, actually, to get away from with this strong white knight on e5. Now white could either take, go to d3, or play bishop f4, defending it. So interesting moves, this knight d7 by black. But okay, Hort decided to play bishop f5, so we gotta be grateful with him because it allows Karpov to play a very nice game. c3, reinforcing the center. e6. And now, well, a beautiful move. Although it has been played more than 60 times in my database, this is still a very nice move to my eyes. I would be surprised to see this move, although it's kind of typical in these Caro-Kann structures to play these h4 g4 ideas. But hey, still g4 is kind of nice here, defended by the knight and the queen. It cannot be taken, of course. So bishop g6 and now h4. Note that bishop e4 would always be met, I guess, with f3, so no big deal there for white. Now here black plays h5. May seem more or less reasonable to try to stop the kingside pawn advance, but actually it doesn't seem that great because white is winning lots of tempos. The good alternatives, it seems to be bishop d6. Now, I mean, you're threatening to play, for instance, bishop takes, pawn takes, exchange queens, then you have bishop e4 because f3 wouldn't be a threat anymore. So queen e2, I guess, to try to avoid exchanges. Queen exchange. Otherwise, for instance, h5 wouldn't be that a great idea anymore, because now you have bishop e4, so the knight wouldn't be controlling f3 anymore. So now you have to play something like rook g1, say queen c7, king on e5 once again, and black is doing fine, I think. And well, the other alternative, once again, h6 could be more or less, well, logical in this, could seem logical in this position, but now unfortunately, as more or less similar to what happens in the game, knight takes, f takes, and similar scenario to what we'll see in the game. So never mind, h5 was played, and now g5. White is winning a tempo here. The knight goes to d5. By the way, an interesting move was queen d5, I think, attacking the rook. Now the point is, well, white would probably take on g6. Now you're attacking a rook. You've taken a piece and you're attacking a rook on your own, so black has to take, f takes. Now rook h3. And well, now the knight is attacked. Where should it go? Well, it seems to be that g8, going back, it's his best option. Try to go then to e7, f5 for instance, because for instance if he goes to g4, now f3, and he has no square to go without being lost. And something nasty also happens with knight e4. Now bishop g4, bishop g2, sorry, pinning, and black is in kind of a serious trouble. I mean, where do you go if queen f5, now rook f3 attacking, and the knight will be attacked with some discovered attacks, I say. So black is in basically lots of troubles here, but it was at least a move to consider here. Queen d5, knight d5 seems, well, very reasonable as well. But the problem is that white now takes on g6, f takes, and black has already a very ugly weaknesses here on the king side, on the light squares, on f7, on g6. So queen c2 was played by Karpov here, directly attacking there. I guess bishop d3 would be more or less similar. So queen c2 was played. Now king f7, black decides to defend the pawn with the king. Knight e7 was another way of defending it, though he's playing his knight once again without helping the rest of his pieces. But hey, bishop c4 could be played, now attacking on e6. Now queen d7, bishop d2, castle. Black at least will have the opportunity to castle to get his king to safety, although still has this couple of very ugly weaknesses. White has bishop pair and must be absolutely better here, but doesn't seem that bad scenarios in the game, as we will see. So king f7, now rook h3. The rook is joining the early attack. Black king is in the center, moving here and there, so this can't be good. Knight e7, the idea is to put the knight on f5, try to stop this attack with a strong knight on f5, but white has more pieces to bring into, and black basically has no good defense against white's attack. Now bishop c4, the pawn on e6 now is pinned. It's not defending f5 anymore, so we will see that's going to be important here. Knight f5, and now rook f3, pins here, pins there. This can't be good anywhere. Queen d7, oops, sorry, that was too fast. Queen d7, and now beautiful exchange sacrifice is coming to let black in an even more miserable position. Rook takes f5, very beautiful move here. G takes f5, and now the queen can take on f5 with check. The pawn on e6 is useless because it's pinned, remember. So now king e4, white has the bishop pair and the pawn against the exchange. Well, I mean a bishop and the pawn against the exchange, but apart from that he has the bishop pair. So now the queen goes away. Queen e4, still maintaining central control. Rook e8, bishop f4. This bishop pair is absolutely ruling the board. Beautiful pair of bishops. King d8. Well, it seems the king is getting away from the center, going to be artificially castled or something, but it's too late. Queen e5, having in mind always this penetration on the dark squares whenever it's suitable for white. Rook g8, Black will try to play g6, bishop g7, but it's probably already too late. White castles, g6, rook e1. Just look at this coordination. I mean, the bishop here, the bishop there, the queen, the rook on the central file. So it almost looks easy, right? Almost a perfect coordination against a very poorly coordinated black pieces. So now bishop g7, attacking the queen, but now finally it's time to get in. Queen b8 check, and here after king e7, rook takes e6 check, and Hort resigned. There is no way to be saved here. In fact, black has to give up his queen, and even though he's getting checkmated, the point is that after king f8 he's going to be checkmated even faster with rook takes e8 check, queen takes e8, bishop d6 is checkmate. So let us see another alternative after this check. Queen c8, well, I mean, there is nothing mating black right now, but white just takes the pawn on a7. He still has lots of checks from b6, from a5. Black's position is absolutely miserable. So probably that's why Hort decided to go to e7. But anyway, it seems it's even worse going back to e7, as this is leading with it to checkmate, to game over to 1-0 with this rook takes e6 check. So only 25 moves. Yeah, you wouldn't expect this from Anatoly Karpov, the positional master who would torture his opponents for hours, positional games, in lots of long end games, but he also knew how to combine, how to play tactically in very short, and he beat Hort here in this nice way in his Caro-Kann in 1978. Hope you liked the game. Thanks for